Hi, my name is Rayan Fahs, and today I will be talking about one of the most important periods in American social history, the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Movement took place from 1945 to 1968. We aim to understand how it reinforced the democratic principles of rule of law, equality, and justice, which secured more freedom for African Americans on the social, racial, and religious sides. Now, you might think the Civil Rights Movement began with the Rosa Parks and Montgomery bus boycott, or else the Brown versus Board of Education in 1954 to 1955. But it really started during World War II with efforts like those of A. Philip Randolph and the soldiers taking part in the Double V campaign on February 7, 1942. This campaign, initiated by the African American weekly newspaper, the Pittsburgh Courier, aimed to promote the fight for democracy at the home front in the United States and overseas for African Americans during World War II. But even before that, Black Americans had been fighting for civil rights. It's just that in the 1950s, they started to win. The murder of Emmett Till was a light in the upsurge of activism and resistance that became known as the Civil Rights Movement. In the lonely crowd, sociologist David Reisman criticized Americans for being conformists and lacking rich inner life, necessary to be truly independent. Another sociologist, Kenneth Galbraith, questioned an affluent society that would pay for new cars and new missiles, but not for new schools. So, post-World War II, African Americans were segregated by law in the South and customs in the North, an instance of de facto segregation. This era was characterized by the infamous 1869 Jim Crow laws and the growing influence of the white supremacist group, the Ku Klux Klan, also known as the KKK, founded in 1865 at the end of the American Civil War. Despite this, democracy offered a beacon of hope. The Emancipation Proclamation of January 1, 1863 had freed black slaves, setting a precedent of equality. But institutionalized racism still prevailed. Herein lies the significance of the Civil Rights Movement. Fast forward to December 5, 1955. Rosa Parks, an African American woman, refused to surrender her seat to a white man on the bus in Montgomery, Alabama. This sparked the Montgomery bus boycott, lasting 381 days, a pivotal moment marking a non-violent protest against racial segregation. It inspired black and white activists to pay extra money to the taxis and to walk longer distances. Did you know that Rosa Parks worked for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP? This boycott was influenced by Claudette Colvin, who refused to give up her seats as well 9 months prior. The protest was reinforced legally by the landmark case of Brown versus Board of Education in 1954, which declared state laws establishing separate schools for black and white students to be unconstitutional. Isn't that right, Andreas? Another significant event was the March on Washington in 1963, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his iconic I Have a Dream speech, advocating racial harmony with a crowd of 250,000 people.
One day right now in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
And it wasn't just racial equality. Muhammad Ali, the boxing legend, refused induction in the US Army during the Vietnam War in 1967, citing his Islamic beliefs. This rebellion emphasized religious freedom. The cumulative effect of these events led to the enactment of the Civil Rights Act in 1964 and the Voting Rights Act in 1965, securing legislative freedom for black African Americans. This movement also saw the bravery of the Little Rock Nine, a group of 9 African American students who enrolled at an all-white school, further challenging the status quo. Today, the echoes of this movement are still felt. It's seen symbolically in recent protests like Black Lives Matter, emphasizing the ongoing fight for equality in schools, public transportation, local businesses, and housing. The Civil Rights Movement was not just a struggle, it was a testament to the power of democracy. The rule of law and the unyielding spirit of those who fought for their freedoms and equality. It serves as a reminder that the fight for more justice is still ongoing, and that each one of us has to play a role in fostering a society that respects and upholds the principles of equality and justice. To conclude, let me ask you a question. Yes, you. Following all those victories, shall we feel totally secure that those rights are intact forever? In fact, though it might sound surprising, the Voting Rights Act was endangered in 2013 by the Supreme Court just 10 years ago due to the judicial government attempting to dismay Obama's democratic efforts in a 5-4 vote. Thank you.